At the beginning of this year, I challenged myself to a no-buy year, which sounds really daunting, but now I'm almost at the end of the year and I've learned a lot along the way. Have I successfully not bought anything this year? No. No. And if you've watched my other videos in the series, you know that I'm not perfect at it, but it definitely has set some really good ground rules and has left me reflecting on how I spend my money. I definitely thought starting a no-buy challenge or a no-buy year would save money. Of course, that's like the one thing that I was like, okay, let's save up money so that way we can afford a new house, which we did end up buying a house, my husband and I, so we did move, which is super exciting. But then after we moved, I was like, what does my no-buy year look like? Because now we have a whole house to furnish and I told myself I wasn't supposed to buy anything new. So things have definitely shifted along the way, but I really wanted to start a no-buy challenge because I just felt like I was kind of impulse spending on a lot of stuff. I was getting really fed up with overconsumption, especially like during the holiday season of last year. It just felt like I was getting a lot of like these little birdies in my ears. And by birdies, I mean like Instagram ads, like buy this, this is a perfect gift, this is on my wish list, all these things, which inevitably is gonna happen again this holiday season. It happens every holiday season because it's like the biggest time to spend money. But going into January, I was like, I just need a full-on reset. I think it was also really helpful that the goal of buying a house was something as well. Like I didn't want to add anything in my life if I knew I was just gonna have to up and move it at some point in the next year. And anything I was buying and bringing home just kind of felt like clutter after a while. Everything was just really overwhelming. And I feel like a lot of you guys might understand what that feels like. That's just what I knew. It was time. It was time to set some rules, some spending rules. So here are my no-buy rules. I'll throw them up on the screen for everybody to enjoy. I came up with quite a few of them, just ones as like guidelines to start the year off, like things where I felt like I was spending a lot of money and that I wanted to hone it back, tune it down a little bit. First thing was no makeup or skincare, with the exception being if I was completely out. I think starting a project pan, like challenging myself to actually use up my product, was really helpful in actually sticking to this one. I really don't think I've bought much, if any. So I feel like this one I've stuck to pretty well. I can't say the same for everything on this list, but that one I do feel like Project Pan really held me accountable to stick pretty well to that one. Also noting on kind of Project Pan was no backups. And I say backups in a way of like, you know, when you just buy two of something or maybe an extra of something because it's on sale, or you're like, okay, well, I know I'm gonna need this eventually, so I'm just gonna buy two of them right now. I was like, I gotta stop doing that because I realized that overstock inventory was just, it was taking up a lot of space in our cabinets and our drawers. And I thought to myself, it's more fun when I'm fully out or if I'm close to the bottom of something to do that in the moment rather than have like a backlog. That is another rule I do feel like I stuck with pretty well. Okay, now here we are getting into some places where I did struggle a little bit. No seasonal decor. In my last place, the amount of seasonal decor we had was perfect for it. It felt like just the right amount. I didn't need to add anything new to that when I was making this list because I personally felt like what we had was enough. However, this year putting up the fall decorations, and I'm so thankful to say this, but it did feel like we're lacking a little bit of energy here, you know? And I love fall decor and I love fall decorations. So I have not bought any additional fall decorations, but I do think whenever like the time comes and it's on sale, or if I see some out thrifting, I might buy like a couple of extra little fall leaf garlands and stuff. We have some really cool arches in this house that I think would look so cute with some garland. But I have held strong so far, but just know I am weak. I'm a weak woman and I might break down, but only if it's on sale, like a really good sale discount, or if I find it at like a garage sale or a thrift store, then I might buy some. I also think using what I have this year makes me really excited for next year to be able to maybe go a little harder or maybe set a budget of what kind of decor I want to add in for next year, knowing what I have now. So I do feel like there's some benefits in not going super hardcore on a bunch of seasonal decor, but I think I just need to stay strong wrong. And just know that next year I'll know exactly what I want to add in. And that's the point, right? That's the point of a no buy year, no buy challenge, no buy month, no buy week, whatever you're doing, is being intentional with your purchases, understanding where you're getting the urge to buy, and instead of just impulse buying things like that, waiting it out and being intentional. So that way, when you do buy something you actually want, rather than just buying something because you're trying to fill the hole or the void of what you think you want. It's better to know than to think. In some cases, not all of them, but in this case, I do feel it. Also on this list that I've done pretty good on was no candles. I did buy a few candles because we were out of the old ones that we had. I got a refill of some fall candles from Arbormade, which I posted about. Oh, hi. Can you see him? Hi, Arbor. Hi, how are you? I love Arbormade candles because they are refillable, which is really unique for the candle industry. And I love that I don't just have like excess candle jars laying around. I did buy some extra candles when we first moved in this house. But other than that, I've done pretty good on no buying of like extra excess candles. In my last no buy year update video, I did make a couple of exceptions. One of those being home decor, knowing that we've got extra space to fill. And the other was making an adjustment on my hope to eat out less. So going in order there, home decor, my rule I put on myself was I needed to wait 30 days in order to buy something new and bring it into the house. I wanted to make sure that I knew exactly where that piece is going. And so far, so good on that one. I do have a list of home decor items that I do want to add into the house. But the problem with buying home decor is I love secondhand pieces. I love a secondhand piece. I love a little furniture with a story behind it. So sometimes I will collect links to certain things, like nightstands is a big one that I've been waiting forever, like years. Oh my gosh, it feels like over a year to purchase new nightstands. I don't know if I want to buy those new. I think I kind of want to buy them secondhand potentially. And a lot of times in order to successfully thrift secondhand pieces that are actually good quality, you kind of have to like be on the lookout for a while or like scroll Facebook Marketplace fairly often. And I just lose steam sometimes. I really just lose steam. But I am glad that I put that 30-day stipulation or exception on my no buy year. I feel like that's just really important to actually sit with the idea of what do I want in this room? What would work? How big of a piece would work? Rather than just being like, oh, I want a shelf and then buying the first shelf that I see. And the other thing I had to readjust was no eating out. Originally, I only wanted to eat out like once or twice a week, and I did adjust that one because I realized we were eating out more than that. Sometimes it doesn't help because I do feel like we do travel a lot. I love to travel. I don't really vlog traveling, but maybe that's something I will do one day if you guys are interested in that. So let me know in the comments if a little travel vlog would be something you'd be interested in. So I changed that rule, and I think that does help because I think realistically eating out on a Friday and Saturday night is what works for us. Cooking at home on Sunday, and then having once a week where we can like go out, get a nice coffee and a little treat. The hard thing about putting restrictions on eating out or even groceries for a no buy year when you live with multiple people in a house is you kind of have to take into consideration what other people are doing and what other people want, because even though you might be interested in a no buy challenge, they may not be as interested in it. So that's been really interesting to navigate as well, because while I feel like I'm very diligent with my purchases, sometimes my man just be buying whatever he wants to buy, which is totally on, you know, it's good for him. But sometimes I'm like, should I buy this? Should I really buy this? It has a little bit more of a weight because I know that this is supposed to be my no buy year. So that's been definitely something interesting to navigate. So if you're in a similar spot there, just know I feel you, I got you. Sometimes I feel like doing these challenges are easier when maybe you live alone or you don't have as many people relying on you for certain things, or you relying on other people for certain things in your life. But you know, it's all balance. It's all balance. But also the goal of doing a no buy challenge wasn't to deprive myself or to punish myself to not buy stuff. It was more so encouraging awareness of what and where I was spending my money. So 10 months into my no buy year, I've learned a lot. These are some of the benefits that you could potentially walk away with. The first thing is learning impulse control. I used to just simply put things in my cart whenever I wanted them. And I think giving myself extra space to determine whether or not I actually want what I'm putting in my cart has been really beneficial. It's made me almost overthink what I'm purchasing, not necessarily in a bad way of overthinking certain things, but in like the best way possible before actually hitting the purchase button to get something like shipped to my house or to bring it up to the cash register or putting it in my grocery cart. Thinking through all the other things that I could use instead. Do I actually need this product? Am I out of something? Is there something else I could use that would do the same thing as this product? I think they're all like really valuable questions that I was not asking myself before, but I ask myself now before I purchase something. So learning that impulse control, invaluable. The second thing I've learned is creativity. I'm already a creative person as it is, but I think challenging myself to repurpose things around my house or to restyle clothes in my closet by a little crop with some scissors or maybe a hem or something like that. Super fun, super duper fun. I love doing that. And it's made me realize what I thought I needed, I actually don't need. I had other things that do the same thing. And the last thing I've learned is just a true gratitude and appreciation for the things I already own. Like looking around, I have a lot of stuff. I have family nearby and friends always willing to support when it comes to swapping clothes or trading furniture. And to be able to look around my house and be like, okay, I am not just going to replace these certain frames. Let's paint them instead. Let's appreciate what we have. Let's move things from room to room to see if it works better in a different part of the house. Truly, that gratitude is just, I keep saying this, but man, it's unmatched. Now, my no-buy year is not over yet. I'm still learning things as I move and as I go along. I haven't necessarily been tracking financially how much money this has saved me, though maybe in the future I'll do a no-buy month and I can track, because I do feel like that would be super interesting to share. But what I do know is that emotionally speaking and mentally speaking, I have such a better relationship when it comes to shopping and when it comes to overconsumption. I think this is really going to shape the way that I shop moving forward, asking myself those same questions. You know, is it something I want or is it something I need? Is there something else I have that could do the same thing? Can I get creative? Do I have something I already own that could serve that purpose? Asking myself all these questions before purchasing new things and giving myself a waiting room. And when that waiting period is up, understanding, okay, I remembered this thing, I still really want it, or no, I actually forgot I even put this on my wish list. I don't think you have to challenge yourself to a full no-buy year in order to get any of these mindset shifts when it comes to spending. I think you could even go for a no-buy month, a no-buy week, and still understand like where your impulses are when it comes to shopping and figure out why. Why do you always feel like you're thinking about the next outfit you're gonna wear? Or why you find yourself mindlessly scrolling Amazon to see what you can buy next when you actually don't need anything? At the end of it all, a no-buy challenge, 10 out of 10 recommend. I would recommend it to anyone and everyone. There's a lot of different ways to participate in a no-buy challenge. There are different rules that you could give yourself. There are different things and ways you can track it. And I really think it's worth it at the end of it. I do. That's just what I have to say. I think it's worth it. Speaking of ways to track a no-buy challenge, I do have a template that I will throw in the description. It's a Notion template designed to help you track your spending, keep your rules all in one place. Just everything you could need for a no-buy challenge is all just centralized in one Notion database for you. So if that is of interest for you, I'll drop that in the description below. And let me know if there's something that you've been resisting the urge to buy. Drop it in the comments. I'll see if I can help de-influence you from whatever that purchase is. If you like this sitting down chit-chatty video, give it a like. Subscribe for more. Maybe I will continue my no-buy year into January and track some of the financials. I do feel like that would be very interesting to see, but let me know if that is something you want to see, because I don't want to make that video if you don't want to see it, because there's so many videos we could make out there. As always, thank you guys so much for being here and watching this really casual chit-chatty video talking about my experience doing a no-buy year, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!